Hi, and welcome to Netflix's Damage Control. Netflix recorded this fucking interview with the director of Cuties after the movie was already released, which directly proves to you that it was made because of the controversy. She didn't want to explain why she made it as like a regular interview. This was, oh fuck, I pissed off the world, I better damage control, and this was actually recorded and uploaded directly by Netflix themselves. I guess trying to get back some of their customers after losing $8 billion in a day. But believe me, the interview is actually horrific. Let's begin.
My name is Maïmouna and I'm the director of Cuties.
Yeah, you must be real proud of yourself, exploiting children, sexualizing children. It's a great way to live your life. Why did you make this fucking movie? This is what everyone's wondering. Why did you do it?
Cuties is the story of an 11-year-old little girl.
Why did she have to be 11? Like, again, as I said in my reaction video to the movie, check it out on my channel, by the way, I asked repeatedly, why did she have to be 11? While watching it, it became actually more clear as the movie went on that every single thing you claimed to have been trying to portray in the movie and failing could have been portrayed at any age. You could have given away the same message at 15, 18, 30, 40. It doesn't matter. You're full of shit.
She's trying to find herself.
Trying to find herself. What kind of an 11-year-old girl is trying to find herself in the way you portray? Now, if you're going to be going for sexualizing, which you did, that can be done at any age. But if you're going to be going for just any outcasted girl trying to find herself, why did it have to be sexual at all? If what you were trying to portray was just, here's a girl that's an outcast, she needs to find herself. Okay, she could be 11, but then she'd be finding herself with a group of friends, possibly by going to some type of school thing, maybe some type of an event, a club, that kind of, book club, that kind of shit. Because, she's 11.
She's navigating between two models of femininity.
Femininity? In what way is this fucking femininity? This movie is not feminist, aside from the fact that it's garbage, but this is not femininity, and even if it was, an 11-year-old girl does not need to explore femininity. She's too damn young. By the way, a bit of a side note, the actual actress was 12 years old at the time of the filming of the movie, but they made her 11 for some weird-ass reason, because I guess 11 is more attractive to her than 12, and she's now about 13. The other girls in the movie are actually 14 years old, which does not make it better, by the way.
Represent her models, traditional origins, and the other one is a group of young girls called Cuties.
Yeah, it just had to be that, apparently. This couldn't have been done or filmed in any other way, This is what you had in your mind, and it had to be done this way for reasons that you don't explain very well. And it's like, you also try to put across that her family being traditional is a bad thing. For God's sakes, even putting in the description like, oh, her family is conservative. Yep, that's the fucking key word that makes them bad. Fuck you.
I had the idea of Cuties when one day, during a neighborhood gathering in Paris, a group of very young dancers came on the stage.
You went to a gathering in Paris where a group of young dancers were on stage. Can you please tell me why you were there? So apparently what you portray in the movie happened in real life, basically. Why were you there? Why were you even watching these 11-year-old girls dancing sexually? Why were you doing that? Why didn't you leave when you saw it? Why did that inspire you? Why would that inspire anybody? That's like making a video or a movie about anti-pedophilia and being inspired by actually watching a child get molested by an adult. And be like, that's really inspiring. I should make a movie about why that's bad. Why would that inspire you? Why would that inspire anybody?
And they were dancing like what we are used to seeing in a video clip.
In a video clip. Okay, so you mean a video clip of adults, right? You mean video clips like WAP. You mean like video clips of like adults twerking. So, but you felt the need to take the dancing that you see in an adult like rapping music video, but place it with 11-year-old girls because in your brain that made sense.
And I was surprised because of the age. They were only 11 years old.
Is that a good thing? Is that a good thing? You can be surprised all you want. It doesn't mean you should incorporate it into a fucking movie.
I decided to spend the next year and a half doing research.
What do you mean you were doing research into 11-year-old girls? Can you please explain that sentence now? Because that's really uncomfortable. What exactly were you researching? Can you please send your laptop to the police? Because I want to see your search history over the last year and a half.
I met with hundreds of preteens who told me their story.
You did what? You met with hundreds of preteens. This is not making you or Netflix look good in any way.
I needed to know how they felt about their own femininity in today's society.
See, this is what I fucking hate. I've actually responded to feminist videos in the past. I remember there one being on BuzzFeed, of course, like, where else would it be? But there was 5 little girls. They must have been actually younger than 11, by the way. And they were telling feminist lies, because they're all lies in feminism, trying to call women victims, but they were using kids to portray it, to pull on heartstrings, because who cares about kids, right? Their innocence means nothing. So, and there was one in particular part of the video where they were pushing the lie about 1 in 5 women will be raped. And the 5 girls in the BuzzFeed video go, 1, the second girl says 2, the third girl says 3, the fourth girl says 4, the fifth girl says 5, and then all 5 of them go, which one of us will it be? That was utterly fucking disgusting, using little children to push a lie about rape and then say that one of them is going to get raped. They were little girls. So this is like what you're watching. You're using their innocence and exploiting it. It's disgusting.
And how they dealt with their self-image.
Their self-image. They're 11. Can these girls please go back and play with Barbies? Fuck.
At a time when social media is so important.
Social media is not important in the real world. It's important to people because people are morons, but it's not actually important in the grand scheme of the real world. It is people who make it important. In fact, the funny thing is, you are actually one of those people making it important. By incorporating it into the movie and pushing it on children and all this kind of stuff, you are the one actually putting the importance on it. Kids at 11 should not even really be on social media, and to be honest. Kids who are 11 years old should be playing with their friends, toys, and going to school. And yeah, it's okay to have social media to an extent, but even if they do, it should be minor, like just Facebook, for example. It should be monitored by the parents. There should be a lot of things. I also don't think 11-year-olds should have phones yet. But because of this modern world we live in, social media is being pushed, but in the real world, it's not actually important. You are putting the importance on it.
Our girls see that the more a woman is overly sexualized on social media.
Okay, so now you're talking about how women are sexualized on social media. So it begs the question for the 50th fucking time. Why did you make a movie about sexualizing children if your literal concern is about sexualizing adult women on social media? You don't make any fucking sense. Women are sexualized on social media. So I'm going to make a movie with 11-year-olds.
The more she's successful.
Okay, yeah, society does kind of push that, but again, it's completely contradictory to what you're trying to say. Additionally, could Netflix please stop with the dramatic music in the background of this video, because you're not pulling on any fucking heartstrings. This whole thing is so goddamn manipulative and pre-planned and fake. Fucking hell.
The children just imitate what they see, trying to achieve the same result.
But you're pushing that. Anybody who watches this movie is only being encouraged into doing that, not prevented.
Without understanding the meaning. And yeah, it's dangerous.
You mean just as dangerous as you making this movie and literally wheeling in pedophiles? There was actually this pedophile on YouTube. His username is Mr. Girl. A lot of people have been making reviews about him. I'm not going to watch the video, I'll just explain it to you. So basically, there was this one guy on YouTube who actually made a pro Cuties review, and it's like 24 fucking minutes. You can look it up if you want. It's probably the only pro Cuties review on YouTube. And this guy spends 24 minutes talking really slowly and dramatically and pausing in between to lick his lips and praise the movie and say that it has great acting and the children are hot and all this shit. And in one part of the video, he actually literally says, the movie is trying to make you attracted to little girls and it works. That's what he says. So, don't tell me this is not for pedophiles, because you have a pedophile on YouTube who openly admits that, yes, the movie is trying to make you attracted to children and it worked for him. Fuck you.
I recreate the little girl who I was at that age.
Really? Because you didn't say that you were an 11-year-old dancer. You said that you went to a gathering and saw 11-year-old girls dancing.
Growing up in two cultures.
Oh, okay, you mean the two cultures. Well, what were the two cultures that you grew up in? Because I have a feeling it's not the two that you put in the movie.
Is what gave me the strength and the values I have today.
What values you have today? Okay, let's get into the audition tapes. Apparently, according to multiple sources, you actually had over 600 girls audition for this fucking movie. And you literally watched all of their audition tapes. Further sources also claimed that you didn't actually pick the girl you wanted until you had seen the very last tape, and that was the girl you ended up choosing as Amy. Doesn't that seem a little bit strange that you just coincidentally found the girl you wanted on the very last tape you watched? Or perhaps maybe the truth is you deliberately wanted to watch all the tapes because you were sent them, and then went, let's just pick this girl at the end. I don't believe for a second out of 600 girls, just so happened to be the last tape you watched is the girl that you ended up picking or who was the best one. It makes a lot more sense that you just simply wanted to watch every audition tape because you're a pedophile, and same goes with, the writers, producers, basically whoever you worked with during the audition process.
I can appreciate my double culture and live between my parents' one, which is Senegalese, and my French Western one. And as a child, that question of how to become a woman.
They're 11. They're not supposed to be becoming a woman. They haven't even hit puberty yet, you dunce fucker.
Was my obsession.
You have an obsession, that's for sure. I agree with that.
I saw so many injustices around me that women were experiencing.
Women experience injustices, so let me put 4 girls into a very serious injustice in my own movie.
And I kept all of that anger inside me.
But how are you releasing it in this movie? What point are you making that child exploitation is bad while you exploit children? And even the message that you were going for isn't even present in the fucking movie. Like 45 minutes of it is just strictly dancing. The other 10 minutes is like the girls talking and shit. You got a bit of time of the parents, being protective and all that shit, but it's not even in a bad way. The funny thing is, you're trying to put it across that, children are like sexualized or that women are sexualized, but in the movie we don't actually see anybody sexualizing these children. The only people who are sexualizing the children are themselves. Literally every single other character in the movie, whether it be the other kids at school, adults, Amy's parents, literally every single character in the movie is against them. So how can you possibly portray that this movie is about how bad it is to sexualize women or children, but that's not even happening in the movie? It's not. You're not portraying like adult men who are enjoying them. Every single person in the movie is sickened by what they're doing and want them to stop. They're not being sexualized if people are telling them to not do it, fuckhead. What is your problem?
I was powerless when I was a child. Today,
just like the children that you put in the movie.
Today, I can use my voice, my art, to share my vision of femininity.
It is not femininity. They are too young.
My fight for women's freedom in society and in our minds as well.
Sure, whatever.
I put my heart into this film.
Did you? Because I didn't see any heart in the film. I didn't see any good writing. I didn't see a good plot. I didn't see a consistent plot. The only thing I really saw was half the movie with unbelievable close-ups of these girls' crotch. By the way, multiple sources have also proven that the person that you had filming the movie, your camera crew, is actually a convicted pedophile. You're going to try to explain that one away? Your cameraman is a convicted pedophile himself. And again, just like in my reaction video, I must ask, could you not have gotten the point across about about sexualizing anybody without zooming in on the girl's colon? I swear to God, if the camera was any fucking closer, you would actually have to remove one of their articles of clothing so that you could zoom in a little bit further. There's no reason why the girls couldn't dance. Well, they shouldn't have been dancing like that at all, but even if you had to keep the disgusting dancing, did the camera have to be so close? Did the girls have to spread their legs and you literally zoom the camera between them? That wasn't necessary, but you did it because, well, we know why.
Because this is my story. I believe
Then why didn't you act in it?
that cinema and art in general can change the world.
Not yours. How can you try to make this a some like great big thing with a great big message with all this great dramatic fucking music like you're changing the world? You have literally changed nothing except give pedophiles in jail something to watch. You have given Onision something to masturbate over. You have literally done nothing to change the fucking world at all, except piss off the world, but people are already pissed off.
We are able to see oppression of women.
Of women. Women. Do you know what the word women means? It means adult. Do you know what the word kid means? It means kid.
In other cultures. But my question is, isn't the objectification of women's body that we often see in our Western culture not another kind of oppression?
Yeah, sexualization is a form of oppression, but again, you are the one doing it to kids. You see, I love the manipulation here. You keep talking about women being oppressed, women being sexualized, women are sexualized, women are sexualized. So let me make a movie with kids in it. Nobody is sexualizing kids except for you and the pedophiles watching your movie.
In my research, I saw that pre-teenagers are caught in a difficult transition.
Yeah, teenagers are caught in a transition. It's called growing up. But it's not what you put in the movie.
Their bodies constantly changing.
Yes, it's called puberty, but again, not what you put in the movie.
And at this age, especially when you are a girl, it can be complicated to find your place and deal with your body.
Most girls don't do what you put in the movie.
That is transforming itself in spite of what you want.
If anything, you have probably made the actresses of this movie become sexualized in their personal life because of the movie. I genuinely believe that. Yeah. I think that the majority of these 600 fucking girls that auditioned for this were probably playing with Barbies, and then once they made the audition and or acted in the movie and or watched the movie, started actually becoming sexualized because of you.
You are a child, but you are also coming into teenagerhood.
Yeah, but they're not teenagers in the movie. They haven't even approached puberty yet.
This age is amazing because you have all this innocence and naivety.
They have all this innocence and naivete for me to exploit in the movie. I cannot do it in a French accent.
Yeah.
I think I sounded more Indian than anything.
And you interpret the world with all the unlimited imagination that you have at that age.
Because I want to take your naivete and your innocence and your imagination and put a camera up your asshole.
And this is beautiful, but at the same time, because of our societal structures, children can so easily access a lot of adult materials.
Your movie is literally adult material. There is a reason why you made this movie rated MA so that only adults could watch it. For fuck's sakes, even the girls that you casted in the movie cannot watch their own movie that they acted in. If that's not a red flag to you, then what the fuck is?
In the film, my main character, Amy, can feel the suffering of her mother.
Yeah, and you made her care so much. You made her apparently want to run away and join a dance crew for seemingly no reason because the character development in this movie is about as deep as, I don't know, Onision's brain cells.
And yet see that her mother does not take action.
Her mother does not take action. Oh my god. What is your point? Does Amy take action? If you consider joining this dance crew in action, then sure, she took an action, but it wasn't a good one.
So Amy just takes that revolt inside herself and believes she can find her freedom through that group of dancers.
But that entire concept falls flat on its own face because at the end of the movie, she realizes that what she's doing is wrong and then runs home to her mother. So you just contradicted your own story. Whatever.
And their hypersexualization, but is that really true freedom? Especially when you are a kid. Of course not. Amy will, at the end, understand that she can choose her own path.
Maybe she should have listened to her parents and pretty much every character in the movie that was anybody but the other three girls.
The real question of Cuties is,
it doesn't ask a question.
can we as women truly choose who we want to be?
What the fuck are you talking about? Are we going to get into feministic shit? Well, I've already debunked every aspect of feminism, but let me just quickly say, women in modern day actually have more choices than men do, so shut the fuck up. And again, we're talking about women when meanwhile you are sexualizing kids in the movie and not adults.
Beyond the role models that are imposed upon us by society.
Yeah, because when women are sexualized in things like porn or like, bikini ads on TV or in clothing stores and all that kind of crap, it's totally not the model's choice. Yeah, because the models for like magazines and all that crap, they were forced into that at gunpoint, They totally didn't choose it because women have a much easier time in the modeling industry than men do and get paid more money. We can ignore that.
I grew up in a Muslim culture and I respect and love.
So you portrayed Amy as hating her culture. Got it.
I think the characters are evolving in that culture.
Sure, but not in the movie, they're not. There's no evolution for Amy whatsoever. Literally the only thing she grows in is at the very fucking end when she's in the middle of her dance, realizes the horrible choices that she's made by ignoring her family, cries and runs home. That's the only development in the entire goddamn hour-and-a-half shit show that this is.
We are used to seeing Islam depicted by so many stereotypes in movies and media. In Cuties, I depict the point of view of Amy's mother.
Are you retarded? The entire movie is from the eyes of Amy, not the mom.
Who thinks that she has to accept all that is happening to her.
Literally all you show happening to her is that her husband got remarried. There's actually more going on with the mother with trying to control Amy than there is with her accepting the husband's new wife. There's literally more happening there.
But we get to see an imam who comes and say, no, in our religion, women have rights.
Women have rights in every religion, you stupid fuck, especially in modern day.
It was very important for me to show that forgotten but true aspect of Islam.
God, you're an idiot.
This is a deeply feminist film with...
What? Okay. The only thing in this movie that is feminist is the fact that it's a crappy movie, the fact that it tries to make points and fails, the fact that that everything is written poorly and just done terribly, expressed poorly, and really just showcases massive hypocrisy. That's the only thing feminist about it.
It's an activist message. We must all
Activist
together
message.
to figure out what is the best for our children.
And the parents already know what's best, but the kids are just out of control.
As a director, as an artist,
You're not an artist.
I'm doing my part with this film.
No, you're not.
Politicians, the education system, parents, children. I think all together we have to fix what's gone wrong.
Yeah, because politicians totally fix what's wrong, yeah. The only thing that could have fixed what's wrong in terms of this movie is taking it off Netflix.
So we can give the most beautiful space to our girls and boys to grow up safely.
Yes, I want my girls and boys to grow up safely. Now that I have brought in millions of pedophiles to go on Netflix and watch this movie masturbate, and now even know what the girls look like personally, so I can go after them.
Becomes the best version of themselves.
Yeah, and you're really expressing that with this pile of shit.
My film Cuties is a mirror of today's society.
Not even worth it.
A mirror sometimes difficult to look into and accept, but still so true.
Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, it's totally a mirror into society because women are sexualized. So let me just shit all over that and do it with kids. What's the point?
We can blame our children for what we value in our society.
But you're putting the blame on them by making them act in this movie and making it about them while talking about adults.
I hope that people can become 11 years old during an hour and a half of Cuties in our world.
I hope that people can put themselves in the eyes of an 11-year-old while watching this movie so that they can watch it without feeling guilty.
In many ways, Amy is navigating her way in three cultures: her family, French Western culture, and this hyper-real fiction of social media.
I thought it was real, now it's fiction?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Try to experience how difficult and confusing it must be to grow up and find yourself in this triple culture.
This is not as deep as you think, and this damage control video was pointless, and you failed in every capacity.